so much. First and foremost, good morning to one and all, and I want to thank Sairam Institute of Science and Technology Management for inviting me as a resource person for this particular program. I'm associated with SAST for almost like 5 6 years. On entrepreneurship, I visited your campus also, so it's happy for me to have this kind of meeting over here. Not audible enough. Is it okay now? Hello.
Audible, sir, but it's very low, sir.
I'm
So it's not feasible, sir.
okay. Let's check now. I hope like everything gets sorted out now. Okay, with no further delay, I just jump onto my presentation because I left it just a few minutes to complete the entire session. One second. Hope you guys like able to see my screen, right? Okay. So today I'm going to talk about like importance of entrepreneurship culture among students, particularly engineering students, because we all come from a background of engineering and we feel very proud about what we are as of now, like being an engineer. That was if you ask me to be an engineer, maybe like 5 6 years down the line, we can feel proud. But right now we can see like in every street there will be at least like 50 to 60 engineers. So what's the option for us like after graduating is the biggest question mark. Even government is like coming up with plenty of schemes to promote kind of entrepreneurship or startup, or how to improve employment among the graduated students. So that is what the main thing is all about. I'm thankful like I got this topic as of now. Uh, so uh, why do we need to choose entrepreneurship is the biggest question, right? And I'm sorry, like how to go backward. Yeah. Okay. So there is a saying which says the overall rate of progress was doubling actually. What it means is like we won't experience 100 years of progress in the 21st century. It will be more like 20,000 years of progress as today's rate. It has been given by Ray Kurzweil. That's two in like 2011 itself. So what it means is like into about 21st century so year on year there will be some kind of progress. So there will be only 2000 hundred of progress நடந்திருக்கும் அப்படின்னு நம்ம நினைச்சிட்டு இருந்தோம்னா that's completely wrong. We are in a process of like every year there is almost like thousand of progress is happening, and we are in that kind of generation. So it means what it means basically in the sense like where we are as of now, what I'm supposed to do. There are so much of progress happening in the entire country. What kind of progress is happening? You can see in the automation industry, particularly in this COVID situation, this robotics played a major role in terms of like drone, or even in terms of can see in the newspaper or in the news channels nurses, instead of nurses, robots started serving medicines to the patients. So there are so much of advancement happening in the robotics industry. And if you take like artificial intelligence, machine learning, it's ruling the entire world. And uh, I could say maybe in a couple of years from now everything will be artificial intelligence, and you can see like plenty of machine learning gadgets will be there, and apps will be developed based on this particular things. Plenty of progress is happening. Apart from artificial intelligence, machine learning, augmented virtual reality is also playing a major role. Even Amazon and similarly Swiggy, Uber, everyone is trying to bring in augmented reality. So that's the biggest progress happening in the world. Autonomous transport, now Tesla is trying to enter into India, is working on this autonomous transport, and Apple has started introducing these electric cars. And there are some news which says like those cars will also be in autonomous industry. And you can see there are so much of things happening in this kind of advanced materials. Every day there are so many new materials coming up. And maybe 2 days earlier there was a thing happening in India because of the hike in fuel. You can see like petrol and diesel, the prices are like going beyond. and you can see memes in WhatsApp and Facebook saying that you should start investing in oil rather than investing in gold or something like that, right? So, and even our Prime Minister has urged all the innovators and researchers to come up with some kind of alternative to fuels where we can go for some kind of biofuels or something like that. So progress is over there also. And IoT plays a major role. See, this particular toothbrush, it is in Barcelona where they invented it. It will like try to identify and say like which part of your teeth is like doing good, or is it affected by some kind of germs or not. So IoT is there. 3D printing, I mean 3D printing, enormous right now. A startup from IIT had rights from CMDA to build a 3-store building using 3D printer. If you able to hear it right, yes, I'm saying that you can able to build a 3D printed entire home, that is like G plus 2, 3 floors of entire building can be built using 3D printer. And we have a startup in IIT Madras, and they also got a license from CNDA to build those houses. They have a unique cement quality, and similarly the 3D printer to build such kind of thing. And abroad you can see a completely a multi-store building has been built in 3D printer in Dubai. And similarly in Israel and in abroad, they are trying to find 3D printed vegetables, 3D printed steaks as an alternative source of food, because by 2050 they are predicting, the UNESCO and the United Nations are predicting there will be surplus amount of food deficiency or like scarcity of food in 2050. We cannot able to meet the need of the people. So such kind of improvements is also coming in 3D printer. We may have aware of like saying that 3D printer may be used to print some kind of prototypes or to build a small type of objects. Those days are gone, my friends, and the 3D printer is ruling everything. And in genome also, you could see like 3D printed what do you call that organs has been used, and in genome plenty of sequences has been made progress. Particularly this COVID situation, so much of mutations is happening, and they are trying to find plenty of medicines or curable prevention measures, biomedical devices, everything is coming into place. Government of India alone spent it all, if I'm not wrong, they spent almost like 50 crores alone in order for hackathons based on this particular genome and similarly medical devices, particularly on COVID. So why we are saying this? We stand on the brink of a technological revolution. According to a recent report of World Economic Forum, it says 65% of the future labor force will work in completely new job types that don't even exist. Say for example, when you choose a graduation, when you choose a stream of discipline in the engineering field, say computer science department or mechanical department or whatever you may be, the options what you available for you after you got graduated, you have undergone that kind of curriculum. Okay, these are the companies where I can get placed, and this is my job type role, or where I can get fit in a company. That's the kind of mindset we would have got before joining any kind of engineering discipline or course, right? But now you could see there are lots and lots of positions or new positions coming up in these so-called corporate companies itself, which we never heard of. uh, to give an example, Cape Germany is having a what do you call that, a position where a psychologist or like a comedian, they recruited a comedian in order to reduce the stress level of the employees working over there. I mean, these kind of jobs or these kind of openings has never been there in any kind of corporate sector. So as progressing the industrial revolution or whatever maybe the progress is happening, even the corporate industries and similarly we have to catch up with the advancements happening. I cannot say like, okay, I studied computer science engineering, I will be fit in like TCS or like Cognizant, I write a I will be a software developer, or I'll put into some kind of testing or reporting. You cannot say those things anymore. Like everything is changing, so many new things are coming up. And one more thing is like, I say for example, even the Institution Innovation Council, which is in your college, is not there like 2 years back. Those things are like coming up in recent years. This technology business incubator, most of you wouldn't have heard that called like technology business incubator, like maybe like 10 years down the line. So all these things are like adding up, and we also need to catch up. So navigating the industrial revolution is what is all about. In 1800, it's the first industrial revolution, first mechanical loom in 1784, and in 1900, everything started changing from there. In right now in industrial revolution, I heard Mohandas Paiji said. Mohandas Paiji is like one of the key member in politics, and similarly is a very key person in startup ecosystem. Also, is a Padma Shri person. You can Google and check it out who is Mohandas Pai. And I heard from him like he visited one of a plant facility, one of a industry somewhere. I'm not able to get exactly where, but that was completely dark. The industry was completely dark, it seems. So when he started entering the industry, the lights were coming up the moment he starts entering the industry. So he inquired to the so-called manager or the plant organizer, what is this all about? It's completely dark. How you are able to make the manufacturing? So the so-called manager of the particular plant said, everything here is like automated, and we have robots to do all the jobs, and it doesn't require any kind of electricity. And those, I mean, electricity in the sense no requirement of lighting at all, just a robo, and they can sense where their products are, and they start manufacturing. See the amount of electricity they're trying to reduce over there, and the amount of progression happening in the automation industry. And on a comical note, even Mohandas Pai said, maybe there would maybe a time like we be sitting in our homes, and for us the robo will go and start working for us. That may be a situation also, right? You could have seen in the movie called I, Robo, Will Smith, featured by Will Smith, right? The same thing happened over there also. Robots start work for you. Those things are like not far. It is not going to take much of a time, because we can see like robotic restaurants where robots started serving. We can see like robots starting giving medicines to the patients. So everything is happening now. After graduating, after like finishing my engineering, I thought like I may go into some kind of automation industry, or I will be going some kind of software industry. If there are robots are ready to replace me, what I'm supposed to do? That's the biggest question mark which should pop in your head, right? That's where this entrepreneurship will kick in, and will give you like, okay, fine, there is another career opportunity for you to do, and you can go ahead also. And the fourth industrial revolution and the education system out to the report, this is also biggest question mark, because we clearly saw what happened during COVID situation, even in the education sector, how we try to cope up with the education system, or like how to try to cope up with in connectivity, in terms of connecting to the students, how to like give away the knowledge transfer to them. We are adapted to a conventional system, yes. And I'm also a advocate for that, uh, saying that conventional system always plays a major role. Seeing the student in front of me and delivering something gives a more kind of satisfaction. And if there is any kind of doubts, I can clearly see from the eyes of a student, okay, see, he's having some kind of the, what is it. But in virtual mode, completely everything is changed, but no other go. We have to adapt to this kind of situation. And how we are going to adapt the education, the current education system. And frankly speaking, our, as India as a country, we caught up with that particular pandemic situation. We are able to deliver a lot of things also. So that is there. So how this exponential technologies will affect the future of your job? I said it very clearly. Hereafter, like you have to cope up with it, or you have to come up with some kind of innovative technologies to adapt yourself to the ecosystem, or to the corporate, or what is required for the society. If I'm idle, or if I think like I have all the potential and resources within me, you will be wiped off the system very quickly. So you have to think in such kind of manner. So, and what it will impact the future of higher education is also a biggest question mark. So where and how, what kind of skills is necessary for the future of professionals? This has been given by World Economic Forum. When you go for an interview, this is the pattern which has been followed by all the HRs in the corporate industries in 2015, saying like complex problem solving or coordinating with others, people management, critical thinking, negotiation, all these skills are very much required in order to recruit you. That is what has been said in 2015. But in 2020, things changed. The bottom line, creativity come like, I mean, it shifted its place from 10th to the third place. Now in 2021, I would say the creativity jumped far more ahead and it will be coming in the first position. Now you even like IIC, Institution Innovation, MHRD, or like Ministry of what do you call that, Social Justice and Empowerment, or like Ministry of a Department of BIRAC, that is like Department of Biotechnology, or a Ministry of Electronics and Instrumentation. All these departments are like asking students to come up with so innovative idea where they will fund you also to transform your idea stage into a proof of concept stage. So creativity plays a major role. If there is no creativity, you cannot bring up any kind of innovation at all. So creative, you have to generate such kind of skills within yourself. So what it means, this is what is really happening in academics. uh, Frankly speaking, there is an education sector, and there will be a research sector, and there will be social responsibility sector. But when industry comes into place, there should be a shift in that. The research should get converted into innovation. If you frankly see, in India alone, you can see lots and lots of doctoral degrees available, right? Like PhD graduates, they wrote some kind of thesis, and there is the innovation in that. They try to identify a problem and they try to solve in that, right? If we are having, say, for assuming 1 lakh PhD graduates are available in India, so much of research happened in India in a particular year, right? And all those theses are staying in a library. What happened to this, what happened to those researchers? Why not these researchers converted into any kind of commercialization? I mean, like, if you are submitting a PhD thesis, or if you are submitting any kind of thesis for that matter, every thesis is having an innovation in it, right? Now, why those innovation is not coming into the market? If those innovations are coming into the market, obviously you can produce so much of jobs, right? Why do we need to scared of like what is going to happen, what my career lies on after my graduation? We should not get bothered about all those things if all the researchers gets converted into innovation. So how these researchers can get converted into innovation is the biggest question, right? So these innovations can be converted by this methodology called like R&D, or like you need to have some very strong innovation ecosystem. When you say innovation ecosystem, we talk about like startups incubation, technoparks, innovation districts, living labs, or you can select idea lab, fab lab, makerspace. All these things should get inculcated as a part of what do you call that, as an infrastructure in the university, which will allow the students to go from from their classroom and to the innovation ecosystem, start exploring, do something, and some session will be there. You try to break something, try to learn a lot of things, brainstorm with lot of students, come up with new ideas. So such kind of ecosystem needs to be developed in order to convert this kind of research to innovation. And I'm thankful to all the universities, even like Satyabama, and similarly Sairam is having such kind of ecosystem. I could see like there is a Institution Innovation Council, there is ECEL is there, EDC is there, which will allow the students to go and participate among themselves and try to come up with a very good innovative idea. Get participate in Smart India hackathons or any other hackathons happening. And so you try to like I mean your mind to generate such kind of ideas. So, food for thought. What would be the world without these kind of innovations, inventions, broadband or smartphones or MRI? Just think like after you study whatever you studied, being an engineer, sitting ideally, and you do a job given by someone else, getting employed somewhere. These are the roles and responsibilities given to you, and you start doing it. All these kind of inventions wouldn't have happened in the entire world. Now, these without these inventions, nothing is happening. Without this broadband, even this meeting wouldn't have happened, right? Now broadband, even that uh, kept on changing, right? There were like what do you call that, normal internet. Now we have a fiber net, and 5G is coming up. That will be the technology advancement is going to happen again and again and again, and we have to adapt to all those things. Smartphones, the moment you wake up, you will hold the smartphone in your hand, like it is the way to start your day. That's how the entire thing has changed. But the purpose of smartphone or the phone is like for communication. How often are we using our phones to communicate? There will be 100% of battery, and how much percentage of battery is used to communicate from a person to another person? Maybe 5%. Hardly 5% is used. right? The remaining 95% is being ruled by some other apps, right? So smartphone is become as like a, it's become a part of a family right now, right? And MRI, if MRI is not there, just imagine the medical industry, how backward they will be in the situation in order to identify some kind of problem happening to a patient. So just imagine these kind of inventions will also happen the particular world. And innovations, we are not expecting you to invent anything, but what we are expecting from you is like try to innovate a thing which is already there. Try to identify a problem from a society or from your own family or from your neighbor's family, even in your institution, and try to give a solution to that. So it will turn that particular idea into a proof of concept, and from that proof of concept you can try to raise funds and start your own venture. It's maybe like you may feel like it is easy, but it's not easy. It will take at least 3 years for you to raise funds, but it's a journey, and we can adapt to that particular journey. So knowing all these things, I know like what is happening in the entire industry, I know what is happening in the society, and I know like what academics has given me the kind of knowledge what I have within me. But still, what is it like stopping me to be an entrepreneur? Why am I not choosing entrepreneurship? If I go in front of a crowd and I speak like 200 people, maybe like 5 to 10 people raise their hands and they say like I want to be an entrepreneur, but the remaining 90% will feel hesitant to raise their hands also. Now what is it like bugging them in not to become an entrepreneur? The stats says, so this is the reason, the 2% mindset. What is the 2% mindset? The 98% of the population try to be in your comfort zone itself. Say even me, even before like entering into this entrepreneurship journey, what I thought is like, okay, I studied, I graduated, I go to a corporate company, sit, and they give me some kind of assignments. I'll start doing it and gonna earn something. If they are going to send me for offsite, okay, fine, jolly. I go on site, stay there for like 5 years, earn a lump sum amount of money, and come back to India. So this is like being like everyone else. Like say even your mom or dad would compare you with other person. Say like see the next guy, he completed his graduation and he got placed in Cognizant, so you also try for that. So this is more like a mindset game, right? 98% of the population are trying to be in the comfort zone. There will be fear, there will be insecurity. Why should I take any kind of risk? All this thing. But the 2% of the population where they want to go for your dreams, chase again, chase for your dreams, where we want to leave a legacy, or like it's more like a passion for you. Try to explore new things, try to uh, get the utmost of your life, embracing the unknown. The see the difference between this 2% of the population and 90% of the population. Here you fear for things, here you try to explore new things. Here you try to just getting by, or like be like in a settled life. Here you try to embrace the unknown situation. So there is a complete controversial things happening over here, contradictory, you can see, right? So this is all about your mindset. Unless and until you change your mindset, no one is able to change that. If you feel it, you like it, then that's where the fire starts, and you start your entrepreneurial journey from there. So what kind of questions you can ask to yourself in order to pursue entrepreneurship? The first question is like, do I have the passion for starting a venture of my own? That is very much is required. If you don't have a passion, and you are forced to start your own startup or like any kind of venture that obviously fails, you need to have a passion for it. You should put your heart and soul into it and say like, okay, I'm trying right now, I have this team, and I'm going, this startup is going to benefit the society, and it is also going to benefit for me. There should be a statement of purpose for that whatever you start. And the second thing is like, do I have the strength to sustain in that venture? What I mean by strength is like, do you have the necessary skills? Say for example, the characteristics of an entrepreneur, or do you have a leadership potential for that? Or you can say like, I'm not so good in like talking to people, but I can recruit that kind of people in my team so that my venture sustains. Do you have that kind of strength in your venture? The last thing is like, can I attempt to write a mission and vision statement? This is also is very very important. Without mission and without vision, whatever you start, it's going to end up being there is no stop point, there is no full stop if you don't have a mission and a vision statement for your startup. So just think about this. Do you have all these things in your mind? Start writing in a paper, then you start working on your venture. So what is business planning is very important, right? Those who fail to plan to fail, obviously. So now ideas. Now comes the part. Now what we just like coming to be a quick thought, or like what this presentation given is like we spoke about like what is happening in the current scenario, why entrepreneurship is very important, and why not to be an entrepreneur. After knowing all these things, now if you want to be an entrepreneur, you always talk about ideas, right? I will give you a very important note. Ideas succeed of it. Fewer than 1% of the business plans submitted to venture capitalists gets funded. That's only because there is a myth which will say it's like my idea, I am the scientist, I mean I am the Albert Einstein for my idea. There is no such thing at all. Your idea may be presented somewhere else also. No idea is new idea. It is always a replica of some other idea or me too idea, but whether this idea will fit in this market is not, is the biggest question which you needs to answer. Whether this idea has the market potential, you can enter into the market and you can get the return of investment using this particular idea. To give a very classic example, Uber is always there, right? But Ola came here. There is not much of a difference between Uber and Ola. Both of them are providing the same kind of services, but Ola was the first one to enter into the Indian market and he succeeded. So the way you try to enter into the market and you try to attract the customers is also is very very important. That's what we call as like first player advantage, or like first mover advantage. Whether you are the first one to enter into the market and you try to penetrate into the market and be in the mindset or play in the mindset of your so-called customers and say like, okay fine, I'm here and I'm gonna make business. So that is very very important. This is very very important if you want to start a business. The four main areas of a business: whom, what, ROI, and how. Now whom is like to who are your customers actually, and what talks about like what kind of product or what kind of services you are trying to give to the customers. How is talks about like how you are planning to sell those products to the customers, to the whom sector. Say for example, are you going for the indirect channel, or are you going for the direct channel, or are you going to try the e-commerce platform, or the supplier chain, is that is what you are trying to plan. So you have to work on like how you're going to do that particular business. End of the day, if you ask me like what is the success of a startup, it is not all about the idea or the innovative idea for that matter. Also, even if you have a patent for that idea, it doesn't even matter. End of the day, it's all about like money. How much money the startup makes is what the success of a startup is all about. So return of investment is what matters a lot. How much money you can make in a period of time. You can have your own valuation for 3 years, then you can move on to like fourth year, fifth year. Try to see like how much amount of money you are able to generate out of this. So I try to end up with talking about my technology business incubator over here in Satyabama. It has been funded by NSTDB DST, and we are working on this kind of trust areas on marine bioresource utilization, agriculture, engineering and technology, and environment and clean technologies also. And these are the facilities we provide over here. We provide like we have a conference hall, we have a training room, and we also have an incubation cell. If you get incubated, we provide you a proper incubation cell, so you start working from there. All these things are already available in a facility. Adding to that, when you get incubated, you also have an advantage, or you have a leverage to use like 60K USD worth of digital startup kits. That is almost equivalent to 45 lakhs. So when you get incubated, you can start using those digital startup kits from day one, and you will get access to all the mentors. All the facilities will also be there. So these are some of the performance and value creation of startups which got incubated. We are able to make a revenue of like a 1.3 crores. The sense like the startups who got incubated, they are making a revenue of like 1.3 crores, and they generated an employment of almost like 73 people. So this is what we do. And for that matter, whatever I say, this is not going to motivate you, or like I'm pretty sure that whoever is like participating in this particular webinar, the talks are not only from me, of for the matter any expert speakers who are comes and talks. It's just end of knowledge for you. But unless and until you start experience, you cannot learn entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship cannot be taught by someone. It, you should start working on that. Learning is experience. Everything else is just information. Whatever we say is just an information or the facts what is happening. But you should start working. Entrepreneurship is an experiential learning. Unless and until you experience whether it is good or bad, you have to experience it and you have to taste it. How does it feel for you? If you have a very good experience, you can like work on the improvisation and go ahead. If you have a bad experience, start working on that, and again you can start projecting. Say for example, you must have heard the success story of Jack Ma, right? He failed so many times, and he succeeded at last. So whatever you see, the startups, they never got succeeded on the first time itself. On the first time itself, there are so much of iteration, so much of failures happening. Every now and then you should be in a position to learn a lot, and you should apply on your startup to improvise it. So that's the way to go. So change the way you work. It's up to you to decide whether you need to get employed, or you want to be an entrepreneur and start recruiting people. So it is all about your mindset. As I said, it's about the 2% mindset. You should change your mindset. You should like improvise it and go ahead. So that's it from me. I'm not going to take much of a time. As I said, I think like I restricted to 35 minutes. So 35 minutes to 40 minutes is more than enough for a talk, right? If it's in a physical manner, we can explore a lot of things. I i what do you call that, I'll again take this opportunity to thank SIST for providing this opportunity, and I will be privileged to come over there if the situation persists normal. I will be privileged to ask all the students also to come and visit our TBI to see what we have over here, and I will be also happy to come over there and deliver more and more amount of lectures and leadership skills. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, you can like shoot me. Any questions is okay with for me. Guys, are you there? Sleeping? Hello?
Yeah, yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. If participants have any questions, they can feel free to ask me, ma'am. I'll be happy to answer any kind of question.
Yeah, sure, sir. So, participants, if you have any queries, so kindly ask the questions to directly to sir. So, afterwards, you have any doubt means, sir, better you give your mail
Yeah,
ID or
yeah, yeah.
uh,
Sure. I'll just post it in the chat box. And you can ping me in WhatsApp also on this number. You can connect me in LinkedIn profile also. So whatever feels okay with you, I'll be happy to answer any kind of questions to you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thanks to Shanmugam sir also, introducing me to you to this particular platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable words and ideas. I hope this session was informative to all. We shall resume the next session, which is afternoon. Thank you all once again. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
now all students are joined to the corresponding your class, concerned classes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, students. Thank you.